Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Let me show you some really cool chord substitutions that you can use in the key of A to replace some of your bar chords. And then let me show you one of my favorite strum patterns of all time, what I call the halftime strum. So let's take a look at it. And it's new, the shape of your body, it's blue. The feeling I've got and it's ooh, it's a cruel summer with you. Now, the benefits to this is, of course, we are looking at some cool chords to substitute in the key of A. We're learning the halftime strum pattern, and we're working on, in the process, doing our accented strums versus our unaccented strums using mini strums. So let's take a look at it. To start, all of these chords are optional. You can just use the normal chords if you want to, but these are some really cool chords that I found to be very helpful in the key of A especially. And we'll talk about each chord individually. So to start, we're going to go over the chords and the strum pattern. So we're going to look at the A chord. It's as normal, so you can play it however way you want to, like this, or like this, or like that. One of my favorite ways to play the A chord is like this, where it's just one finger barring across the strings. And the reason why is because it makes it really easy to access other chords when you just have this one finger that you're worried about. So this first finger is barring across the D, the G, and the B strings. And my joint is able to bend slightly upwards, so that way I can just not bar, so I can not bar this high E string. If your joint can't do that and you have to lay it flat, then this is just a really jazzy A major chord. It's almost like an F sharp minor chord, like an F sharp minor 7 at that point. But this is also like a rock and roll A chord. So in a lot of classic rock songs, they'll have this. So like, they'll kind of like just do it like that. That's the A chord. That's our first one. Now the next one that we're going to go over is our C sharp minor 7. So typically we'd have to play this as a bar chord like this. And this can be a very intimidating chord. But to make it easier, what you're going to do is keep the bar right there. And then you are going to take your ring finger, put it on the 4th fret of the A string, and then just put your pinky down on the 4th fret of the G string right here. And then you have this beautiful C sharp minor chord. So I'm muting the low E by taking my ring finger, and I'm not on the very tip of the finger. I'm on the pad, so that way I can lightly touch the low E. And I'm still not flattening all the way with the bar. I'm doing what's called a partial bar right here, where I'm only partially barring through those 3 strings there. So this can be a funky one if you've never done it before, but once you get it, it's super useful because you can move this shape around, where this is, C sharp minor, this is D minor, this is E flat minor, E minor. This is a movable shape if you can get the muting of the strings right. So let's spend a little bit of time here just trying to get these strings to ring out. We're only doing the middle 4 strings. And really, if you can just get the, like the A, D, and G string, then that's good too. So that's the C sharp minor 7. Now the next chord we're going to go over is the F sharp minor 11. And it sounds complicated. It's super beautiful though. All you're going to do is take your pinky finger and you're going to move it up a string to the 4th fret of the D string. And then you're going to let go of the bar and you're going to put your first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then your thumb can wrap around if it's able to, or you can mute the low E with your ring finger. And then you're going to let the B string and the high E string open like this. So just one string at a time. This is a beautiful substitute for an F sharp minor chord. And this works in the key of A. It also works in the key of E as well. And that C sharp minor 7 works in the key of A, and it also works in the key of E too. This F sharp minor 7 will also work in the key of D if you ever need to play an F sharp minor in the key of D. So that's that chord. And then the very last chord that we go to is just a normal D chord. But if you wanted to, you could also lift off these two fingers. And then you have this really pretty D sus kind of chord, D sus 6 or whatever. And then you have kind of like this, you can also do like an A sus 2. And then you have these B and high E strings ringing throughout all the chords. So you can do A sus 2. And then you could go back to that C sharp minor and just not bar it, but have these two B strings open. And then you can switch the two fingers around for the F sharp minor. And then you can just lift off these two fingers and mute the low E string to get this cool D chord. If you wanted this like sonorous B and high E string ringing open throughout. So anyway, that's all that fancy stuff. But those are the chords. So now that we've taken a look at the chords, let's take a look at the strum pattern. It goes like this. So the idea is that on every strum that's not accented, you do a mini strum, which is not strumming across all 6 strings. It's just maybe hitting like the first, 2 or 3 or so. Then on the accent, you put a little bit more weight into the hand and you go across all the strings on the down strum. For the up strums, don't really worry so much about, mini strums. The up strums are primarily meant to set you up for the down strums anyway. So we have mini strum, big strum, down, up, down, mini strum, like that. So we're not going to worry about any of the chord changes right now. We're just going to practice the strum pattern. So it'll look like this. About that fast. 1, 2, ready, go. And that's the strum pattern. So we're going to do the chord changes and the strum pattern in the practice video. So this was the tutorial for the chorus of Cruel Summer, and I'll see you in the practice video.